Hi Marco, how
Hi
you
Georgie,
doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Nice to catch up with you.
How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. I feel like we've just had New York, we're going into London. Good time to chat to you about market outlook, what's happening, what's going on. Before we do though, I do just have to kind of praise you a little bit because Bianca Saunders, who's a new brand for Tomorrow, just won the Andam Award recently. Also, Nancy DeJacca has just been announced as the LVMH prize winner for this year. If I'm not mistaken, Tomorrow has always had an entry in the LVMH prize. So there's just a little bit of fawning over you and your amazing eye for detail.
It's not me, it's everybody, it's the team, and yeah, I have to say it's been a great start of the season. It is the first LVMH prize winner in Tomorrow for sure. If I'm not mistaken, it's the second Andam winner, but it's great to have them both with us. And yeah, very exciting, thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
You're very welcome. So diving into market outlook, I really wanted to pick your brain about kind of the buyers and retailers' perspective of Tomorrow's kind of edit for this season, I guess you could say. How do you think it looks from a buyer's retailer's perspective? Has it changed in kind of theme this season, or just from an outsider looking in, how would you describe it?
I think it has, I think it is definitely a little sexier in a way, if you can say that. It is, I think the evolution of the trends has taken us out of our homes, thankfully, partially, so not fully, but we definitely out, and this has translated into sexier collections. I think, obviously, as you mentioned, Nancy,
the queen of like subdued sexy.
Absolutely,
yeah.
And transparency and and skin, but also to linger.
We see that a lot. I think you get that a lot in Otterlinger, but it's slightly punkier.
Totally.
I've noticed that a lot of people are talking about sexy, but it's kind of it's less kind of gauche, like super fake tan, gorgeous 80s sexy, and much more kind of subdued, which I think Otterlinger does really well.
Totally.
Like edgy sexy.
And I think they're both very strong and with very strong point of difference, I think, and exactly as you explained. And I think in terms of there is definitely more color as well in all of our brands. I can definitely tell. For sure, Otterlinger will be more colorful than Nancy, for instance, or Coperni even, but you will see color also in Nancy shows tomorrow.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, more than what has been before.
Okay, that's really exciting.
But then also, if I think about Bianca Saunders, which collection this season in particular is my favorite of hers, I think her collections have been a crescendo, and I think she really defined the collection this season, hence why perhaps she won a big prize, which was very well deserved. And I think in there as well you can see feminine details on menswear, but the way that she interpreted it was also in a way that is quite, in a way, also sexy for men, leaving though beautiful like details that perhaps you might need to look a little closer to understand what those are. But it feels so good when you wear it, And so yeah, I think overall that sort of
slight sexy undertone.
It's across women's wear and men's wear, and and I think this is definitely something that you will notice in Tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to talk about because, as you said, everyone's kind of, even though it feels like we've been talking about the pandemic for literally forever.
Too long.
And I feel like last time we spoke, we were like, everyone's ready to party, everyone's ready to have a great time. But actually, this kind of subdued sexiness feels like a little bit of casual, a little bit of, because we're seeing quite a lot of kind of relaxed trousers with the sexy. Certainly with Nancy, it's like layerable, or even with Coperni, you can put a jacket over the top of it. It doesn't have to be so.
It's quite fluid.
Yeah,
in a way.
exactly, absolutely.
Definitely. I have to say, some of the silhouettes are quite. It's a good contrast in between, being something very tight and on the body.
Yeah.
At the same time, you can also find something very extremely tailored and beautiful and being very fluid.
Yeah.
Head might do this at best.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think, even if you look at Bianca Saunders, some of her pieces, the trench that we have here, for instance, there is that element of fluidity which it makes you feel comfortable in and in a way that you can wear that sort of garment all day long, you know, and you can go to the office, and then you can also perhaps end up being out all night, and you still look great, but on top of that, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, spending a lot of time outdoor as well during the pandemic, I think people, as you and I spoke already about, have now found a better connection with outdoor wear, you know, with something that is a little more technical. And hence why you will also find this in Tomorrow. But we have a new brand, Otti, which really, you know, describe that sort of activewear and fashion element at once in a very, very unique way. And on top of that, we have Vara, which is walking away a little bit from the more technical aspect and jumping into something that is more day wear, but still very true to its roots, which come from activewear.
That's what I really like, is when, like, even if you just look at the row behind us, we've got such a good mixture of kind of activewear that fits in with subdued, sexy, layer those trackies with kind of a Charles Jeffrey sheer lace or whatever, or then you can kind of put on an Otti jacket that feels slightly more performance wear led, but actually is super street forward, but also kind of leads into this subdued sexy because it's got that shimmer to it, or it's got a cut off. Like, there's an amazing dress that's performance wear and everything except for the kind of cut and finish, and it's got that pastel tone, which I think we're seeing a lot of. I mean, just looking around the showroom now, there's pastels everywhere.
Totally.
Which
and I
is
forgot
nice.
to mention the collab that Bianca has done with Farah, which is also very, very bright.
Yes.
And I think...
Which is quite surprising for her, I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, the days of black and blue and grey are gone.
Yeah.
And now there is definitely it's not a need. I was going to say a need. It's not a need, but there is definitely, you know, people are keen to wear a little bit more color.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Maybe not us, but
Maybe not us.
we'll try.
We're working on it.
But the market is asking for that.
And also I wanted to spotlight something I've picked up walking around is denim seems to be, certainly for menswear, kind of full look denim was a big thing. I've seen that Pam are doing a collaboration with Levi's, which is amazing. I love Pam.
It's more of a remake of Levi's jeans for Positive Messages, which is incredible. I think Positive Messages is one of those collections that I've really, if you know Pam and if you know Mish and Shona, you know exactly what's behind the brand, and it's something that, as the name of the brand says, Positive Message, just lift you up.
Yeah, definitely.
There is an element of fun in the collection this season. There is, my favorite jumper says, for instance, rice and beans, which is super fun.
They're very good at that.
Yeah, definitely. That you compare it with some, you know, vintage Levi's remake, which there is always a very sustainable approach into in the collections of Pam and Positive Messages in particular. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're really happy with that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. They always do such like uplifting stuff. It's so nice to see. Anything that you're like super excited about for the coming weeks? For me, I'm very excited about attending a physical show again.
Totally, same.
I've got all my bets are on Charles Jeffrey's kind of knockout show next week. Very, very excited about that.
I truly hope it's not gonna make me cry like the last one. Do you know when they were like, it started, The Power of Love started.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot. I love that song. But anyway, I'm definitely very excited to see Charles' show Monday. Obviously Nancy on Friday. Pronounce as well. Is showing here in London. And then we have a few of the show also in Milan and Paris, you know, with Colville, Ottolinger in Paris. Sindiso in Milan. Vara is doing a presentation in Milan too.
Busy
very
schedule
small,
for tomorrow.
Very
busy schedule for tomorrow.
And obviously Coperni as well.
And obviously Coperni, who are also very excited for, because I feel like every season they're just trying to outdo themselves with kind of the performative element.
Totally.
There's such an amazing kind of scene every time, so I'm really excited.
It's been a big year for them because they got married too. So there is a lot of love, and I think that's always a winning element.
A lot of love. Yep. I think that's a really nice note to end on. A lot of love for the season.
Thanks, Georgie.
Good luck for everything coming up.
Thank you.
Nice to speak to you. Bye.